Hi, my name is Antonis and I'm the iconographer in this video. Today you will see me painting the holy face of Saint Antonius, and you will see already that I'm starting with doing this underpainting. For those of you who are beginner in iconography, this this step might be strange, as many students in iconography just transfer the drawing, and many times they also scratch with a needle the gesso, and then they paint the proplasmos, the base color. So this underpainting, monochromatic painting of the features before painting the proplasmos might be something different, but it's a beautiful way to be more painterly and to understand better the areas of shadows, the areas of light on the face of a saint. Hi, I'm Antonis, and I'm proud to present you my online course in iconography, Paint an Icon with me. This course will help you become a better iconographer, and it will help you be more confident when talking and presenting your artwork. It will make you understand in depth the studio practices of a professional iconographer like me, and you will get accustomed to what great iconography looks like. So learn in a simple and organized way everything you need about the materials, mediums and techniques in order to make a beautiful icon. Paint with me the icon of Christ and learn how to paint better any icon you wish. I will see you at the studio. So after I've done this monochromatic underpainting, I will paint a layer of proplasmos. As you see here, it seems very sloppy. It seems it has some transparency, this greenish brown color of proplasmos, and this is fine. Upon this layer I will paint the facial features, the so-called grapsimata. These are, for this I'm using a darker brownish color that I try this color to not be too much darker than the proplasmos, but dark enough. And with this I will paint the facial features and some given idea of shadows on the face. So as you understand, the deeper somebody gets into iconography, the more he understands that iconography is not just about, copying the old masters, but more it's to understand in depth this visual language that is very, very painterly. An iconographer has to understand naturalism somehow, and to translate this language of naturalism into the language of the Byzantine iconography. It's not just a matter of copying. So of course, it is important for a beginner, for students to do their studies on the old masters, and this can take place for many, many years, and to copy the old masters for many years. But after a point, an iconographer should try to find his or her own language in iconography. We see that the master iconographers of the past have different ways of expressing themselves and painting icons. The style of Aggelos Akotandos is much different than the style of Andreas Rizos, if you talk about the Cretan school. So this happens because they were not bound to just copying the older masters, but they were trying to find their own visual iconographic language. So in order for this to happen, we have to at some point skip the copying process and just try creating our own drawings, let's say. For this, an iconographer is required to be much skilled in drawing. An iconographer is required to understand the theory of iconography in depth, and of course to understand the materials, to understand the painting process. So anyway, back to painting the face of Saint Anthony. I know for many of you all this might be confusing, especially for those of you who are at the beginning of your journey in painting iconography icons. But hopefully you will understand what I'm talking about. So here, after having painted the base color of Proplasmos and the facial features, now I'm doing this first layer of painting the shapes of light on the face of Saint Anthony. There's a variation of ways that somebody can paint this. In some icons we have a broad depiction of these shapes of light, as in the Macedonian school, for example, or we have a narrower depiction of these shapes of light, as in the Cretan school, for example. But also within a school, let's say in the Cretan school, we can have different variations, like more precise way of painting these shapes of light, or a more free, more painterly way. It also depends on the tones that we use, how dark our base color is. It can give a completely different result if our Proplasmos is very dark, or in comparison to being very light. Also, there's a different result if this shape of the first light is more pinkish or more yellowish. So these are things that we have to experiment with as iconographers, see what we like most, what result we like most, and then adopt this way of painting. Now, I like to experiment, and although I'm an iconographer since 1992, where I started studying iconography, I still am enjoying doing these experiments and see how different results I have by painting the first light, let's say, more pinkish or more bright in tone, or more yellowish, etc. See how different results I get. This is something that definitely is interesting, and you should be aware of the different results we get according to how, to all these aspects, how bright or dark something is, or how reddish or greenish or yellowish a color is. So just to be aware and try to apply this knowledge on your studies. So here, after I've painted this first layer of light, I am proceeding with the blending of this first light to the Proplasmos. As you see, I'm using here a more Cretan way of the Cretan iconography, the Cretan school of iconography way of blending. It's this linear almost way, using the tip of my brush. And again, this way is very typical to the Cretan school, but it's not the only way to blend, and we see a more free, let's say, way of using the color in order to blend the light towards the shadow in other schools. But also in the school of iconography we can find not always this way is linear, but it can be more painterly, as I say. It's according to each master iconographer. And it's also sometimes it also depends on biological issues, neurological issues. Sometimes we have iconographers who just they are shaky. Their nervous system doesn't respond to the perfection of the Cretan of, let's say, the icons of Andreas Rizos. So as we understand, an icon shouldn't we shouldn't judge an icon and its value according to how precise or perfectly blended things are, etc. Sometimes it's more important to understand that the value of an icon comes with its sincerity, its truth, the spirituality it emits, and these days I see more and more icons which are perfect, very pristine, very well painted perfectly, but they feel void. They feel they have nothing to offer to the viewer, but just this surprise, this bemusement of using the perfect gold and all these decorations. So make sure you understand the purpose of an icon. The purpose of an icon is to help the viewer pray, to help the viewer think of the spiritual world, and not to show the magnificence of the church, and not to impress with the glory of the gold and the gems, etc. So as an iconographer, try to have this as your goal, instead of just decorating the icons with perfect gold and gems and decorations. Very important is to understand and how to give the right expression on the face of a saint, to live a little bit in this spiritual world as much as you can, but at least even if we're humans, we are not perfect. Often iconographers, we don't fast, or we're not always very spiritual, but at least if our intentions are to paint an icon that will help the viewer and ourselves be more into this spiritual world, then this is the most important, and the icon will definitely be of great value. Also, another thing is that, as I sometimes say, many iconographers think of this art as a way to gain money, and they can be successful in that. But if an iconographer just paints icons for the career or for money making, then most probably the work that they do will not be very spiritual. Money is important, it's a tool that we all need, but the purpose of iconography painting shouldn't be just to make money. Of course, the icons should be paid, and should be paid well, because a well-paid icon gives an iconographer time to create something that is beautiful and artful. But the iconographer shouldn't be in the mentality of just collecting money. So anyway, back here on painting the face. Now I'm doing after I've done this blending of the first light to the proplasmos, now I'm proceeding with painting a second light, and as in the tradition of the Cretan school, the second light, I proceed with painting the so-called psimithies already from the second light. So I'm painting these psimithies. If you want to find this full tutorial, you can find this on Patreon, along with many other tutorials on iconography and how to paint an icon. So if you feel like, check my page there on Patreon. And at this point, I would like also to thank all my supporters there. Without your help, I wouldn't be able to produce these videos here, wouldn't have the time to produce these videos and help beginner and more advanced iconographers raise these subjects and issues on iconography. It's a great community there, and if you feel like, check my page. So anyway, here I'm proceeding with painting the third light on the face of Saint Antonius, and this is just pure ψημithia, pure white, or it's not pure, it's like an almost titanium white color. I'll be more specific on the colors and on the process on that longer video on Patreon. So here I'm doing these ψημithιές, and I wanted to paint this icon of Saint Anthony with a precision on the lightning, to be more on the Cretan style, the way of painting the face. You can find on my other iconography channel, the Icon Slide is the name of the channel. You can find another study on the same subject, on painting Saint Anthony, where I paint Saint Anthony in a more free way, in a more painterly way that echoes the tradition of the Paleologian school, the Macedonian school of painting. For many of you, I understand that this might be confusing, this might be deep waters for iconography. Most of you, I understand, you want to learn more about, the basics of iconography, but even for you, these videos are helpful because you get an idea of the depth of iconography and how what an important art is in the history of art. Iconography has influenced so much in the Italian painting, the Italian Renaissance painting. Although it sounds, unbelievable, it definitely is true. Anyway, here you see me painting the eyes now, the way to paint, to give the lights in the eyes, and directly the icon becomes more vivid, more alive. And lastly, I proceed with painting these highlights on the beard of Saint Anthony. You can see here how nicely these ψημithιές, this way of painting the face looks. I like the final outcome of the face. You see how the transparency of the proplasmos is not bothering at all. It's just more and more beautiful. And for the most part, this was today's video on painting the face of Saint Anthony. So I do hope that you'll find this interesting. You can check also my course on teachable.com where I teach thoroughly iconography, and I hope you will be healthy and creative. I will see you soon. Bye. Hi, I'm Antonis, and I'm proud to present you my online course in iconography, Paint an Icon with me. This course will help you become a better iconographer, and it will help you be more confident when talking and presenting your artwork. It will make you understand in depth the studio practices of a professional iconographer like me, and you will get accustomed to what great iconography looks like. So learn in a simple and organized way everything you need about the materials, mediums, and techniques in order to make a beautiful icon. Paint with me the icon of Christ and learn how to paint better any icon you wish. I will see you at the studio.